As we continue to take care of our troops and support the President's whole-of-nation response, we remain focused on our national security missions around the world. Many countries have turned inward to recover from the pandemic, and in the meantime, our strategic competitors are attempting to exploit this crisis to their benefit at the expense of others. While the Chinese Communist Party ramps up its disinformation campaign to try to shift blame and burnish its image, we continue to see aggressive behavior by the PLA in the South China Sea, from threatening a Philippine Navy ship to sinking a Vietnamese fishing boat and intimidating other nations from engaging in offshore oil and gas development. Last week, 2 U.S. Navy ships conducted freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea to send a clear message to Beijing that we will continue to protect freedom of navigation and commerce for all nations, large and small. I want to assure the American people and our allies that the United States military remains fully ready and capable to deter every threat, protect the homeland, and safeguard our interests abroad.
Can you expand a little bit more on what you see China doing to exploit the pandemic and what you and the department is doing to push back against that?
Sure. Well, look, I'll predicate it with, first of all, I've said before, the Chinese have not been transparent from the beginning. If they had been more transparent, more open up front in terms of giving us access, the reporting, giving us access not just to the people on the ground, but to the virus they had so we could understand it, we'd probably be in a far different place right now. But where we are now is this. They need to still allow us in to talk to early patients, to talk to the Chinese researchers and scientists, and to have access. What are they doing? They're trying to capitalize on this by promoting their own image. That somehow China is the good guy here because despite everything they did, or more importantly, failed to do, now they want to go out and say, well, here's masks. We'll give you masks. We'll provide this. We'll provide that. We'll provide you funding. Look at all the good we're doing. Yet what we know is this, is that they provide masks. They provide supplies. In many cases, it is not good. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It's broken equipment. They also are, the strings attached are enormous in many cases, so they're telling a country here, you can take these masks, but please put out publicly how good China is, how great we're doing, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a number of things they're doing to try and burnish their image. That's just 2 of them right there. They're also doing a lot of strong-arming behind the scenes. You've seen, you guys, some of you are covering it in the open press between Beijing and Australia. What's happening there, and I'll be talking to my Australian counterpart this afternoon. So all these activities are going. It's straight from the Chinese playbook. Once again, it's just a little bit more obvious this time of what they're doing and how they're using a combination of compellence and coercion and everything else to try and shape the narrative and burnish the image of the Chinese Communist Party.
I wonder if you could talk a little bit about military testing and where we are. I think today is like 20,000 plus testing.